Good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. We'll just wait for a few more seconds for you to come in for this informative, interactive webinar that we have present for you today with one of our great consultants, Michelle Cava. This is a great opportunity for you to introduce yourself, what type of business you have, what industry. So that Michelle will be able to provide some additional examples from her experience, but also provide you some ideas for your business to be successful in the marketing and sales channels. My name is Jesus Padilla. I am the Assistant Director here at the Florida SBDC at FIU under the BizCap program. And some general housekeeping items. This is a recorded webinar, so in case if you have to step out, answer a phone call, don't worry. All participants will be receiving today's presentation and recording from today's webinar. So we'll proceed with the slides. Okay. So once again, I want to thank everyone for attending today's crafting, winning, and inbound and outbound marketing sales process. So before we proceed, I know that Michelle might ask you this question. What are some inbound marketing processes, strategies that you have provided to generate some leads and also growing your business on that process? And then as you're thinking and typing up questions, I'll go ahead with the next slide. Just a brief introduction of who we are, what we do. Here we have a team of specialized business consultants to assist you at no cost. If you're looking for access to capital, marketing, international trade, operations, even starting your own business, we have dedicated consultants that can assist you at no cost. Once again, right here, we have a picture of when we were receiving the 2023 National SBDC of the Year. We are a resource partner of the SBA that provides business consulting, training, information to small businesses located here in Miami-Dade County. Since 2014, we have worked with close to 8,000 small businesses that has resulted over 119,000 hours of consulting. Next slide.
Oh, sorry.
What is BizCap? Here's some previous projects that we have done on the top left-hand corner over at the Miami-Dade Downtown Development Authority, working during the Flagler Corridor, along with several projects with several municipalities and cities. As such, we worked closely with the city of North Miami Beach. The BizCap project, which is called the Business Growth and Acceleration Program, it is an initiative that we have started running since 2016. It provides the hyper-local consulting, training, and outreach to small businesses targeted in communities and commercial corridors. It provides an additional toolkit for businesses that are looking to scale their business and also to start their business. Some of the outcomes from the partnerships and with multiple communities here in Miami-Dade County, we have canvassed, we have gone door to door, meeting with the small businesses where they're at, along with providing them resources, introducing them to partners that we have in the county. And over 300 small businesses have attended consulting or trainings to
You froze, Jesus. Jesus, you froze.
Yeah, next slide. The BizCap project in Congressional District 27 is funded by a grant with the U.S. Small Business Administration. The Florida's 27th Congressional District, it covers city of Miami, Key Biscayne, Coral Gables, runs through down to Kendall, down to Cutler Bay. Over 86,000 small businesses are located in District 27. The Florida SBDCs at FIU BizCap project in District 27 will focus on the three core activities: the training, the outreach, the door-to-door canvassing, the one-on-one business consulting, and the data mapping and surveys for small businesses in Florida District 27. The overall goal is to work with over 1,000 small businesses in this calendar year. That includes training and consulting for you at no cost once again. So allow me to introduce you once again to Michelle Cava. She is one of our great consultants here under the BizCap project in the Florida SBDC at FIU, and she'll be going over with today's presentation. But like I said, if there's any particular questions throughout today's presentation, strongly encourage you to put them in the Q&A, introduce yourself so that we have that conversation throughout today's webinar. So without further ado, Michelle, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jesus, and thank you to everyone that's joined us today. So in today's webinar on crafting a winning inbound, outbound marketing and sales process, we're going to dive into strategies that can transform how your business attracts, engages, and converts customers. You're a small business owner who's passionate about your product or service. You know you need to reach more customers, but you're not sure how to do it effectively. So I'm sharing today a strategy that promises to align your marketing and sales efforts seamlessly. You start implementing these new tactics, and I promise you, suddenly your customer base will begin to grow. More people will engage with your brand and your sales it will reflect it, especially, and it's totally dependent on the quality of your product. So this isn't a hypothetical story. I use inbound and outbound marketing and sales processes in my own business. It's a reality that countless of businesses who have cracked the code on inbound and outbound marketing use. So whether you're just getting started or looking to fine-tune your current approach, this session is designed to give you the actionable insights and tools you need to write your own successful story. So this is the overview of what we'll be going over today. The science behind conversions, understanding inbound versus outbound marketing, knowing your customer, building an inbound strategy that converts, crafting high-impact outbound campaigns, aligning sales and marketing, information technology. So first up, the science behind conversions. The science behind conversions is all psychology. A lot of these global companies that use these inbound and outbound tactics usually have a neuroscience scientist payroll because they want to understand their client and what's going to entice them to buy. So they've mastered the science of getting you, me, and everyone on this webinar today to say yes to their products and services. So they often use scarcity and urgency tactics. Think about those limited time offers or messages about low stock that create a fear of missing out. They also use social proof as another powerful tool, testimonials, reviews, success stories, because they know that if other people say great things about their products, then their prospective clients will follow suit. So it's how they build trust and make the decision easier for you. Personalization plays a huge role. So with recommendations and messages tailored specifically to you based on your past behaviors. And I'll show you some companies that do that today. Companies also make it as easy as possible to convert with simplified user experiences. So think of fast checkouts, user-friendly designs that minimize friction. Then there's incentives like discounts or free trials that help reduce hesitation. And finally, they tap into our emotions with storytelling and ads that resonate on a deeper level. And of course, they retarget us when we forget to, check out from the cart with retargeting ads and follow-up emails where sometimes they offer us an extra discount, nudging us back into their sales funnel until we convert. So these are a few example companies that use the inbound and outbound process. And maybe one or two or all of you have had some type of contact with these companies. So what I advise is that after today's webinar, you pay close attention to how these companies or the companies that you buy from attract you as a prospect, engage you, and then get you to buy. You'll see that they have a few strategies in common, and often it's an inbound and outbound marketing strategy that drives consistent sales, no matter what is happening in the market today. And what I want to drive home today is that these tactics are available to you as a small business owner. Up next, understanding inbound versus outbound marketing. So simply put, and I added these pictures because I wanted the visual to really sink in. Inbound marketing is when it's like a magnet. The clients are coming to you. You're creating content that is relevant to them, that shows value to them. And you may be doing this through social media or emails or blogs, and you're attracting the leads and they're coming to you. So they're probably sending you a DM interested in knowing more about your product or service. Outbound marketing is the opposite. And that's where this speaker comes in. It's a push strategy where you're reaching out to prospects directly. And an example I want to share is one that I'll be using as soon as I'm done with this webinar. I'll be going into LinkedIn and actually looking for my ideal client there and engaging them in a direct message. So that's outbound marketing. Now, next is knowing your customer. And it doesn't matter whether it's inbound, outbound, or if you're just strictly sales, knowing your customer is truly the cornerstone of a successful inbound and outbound marketing sales process. We need to have a deep understanding of who our customers are, what they need, and how they behave, so that our efforts are likely to not miss the mark, right? Personalization and relevance are key. So when you know your customer, you can tailor your messages to address their specific challenges and desires. This increases engagement and conversion rates. Targeted messages become more effective, especially in outbound marketing, where the right pitch can catch attention and drive customer action. So I want you to focus on creating detailed customer personas that represent your ideal buyers, that identify their pain points and understanding of their journey from awareness to purchase. We want to leverage this behavioral data and analytics to refine our strategies continuously because their behaviors change constantly, right? And we want to ensure that our efforts align with our customers' preferences and behaviors. Knowing our customer is so crucial because we want to be the hero of their story. We want them to choose us. And we want to be able to optimize the channels that our customers prefer, right? Because they're not in every channel that's available out there. So whether it's email, social media, or direct contact, we want to maximize the impact. We want to build trust. We want to build loyalty. We want customers to feel understood, and we want to turn them into repeat buyers and brand advocates. Next, building an inbound strategy that converts. So as I mentioned before, inbound marketing is when you're pulling the client towards you through, sorry about that, guys, through content that attracts them. So how do you craft an inbound marketing strategy that truly converts? Start by identifying your target audience's pain points and needs. Develop high-quality content, blogs, videos, and infographics that address these issues and provide solutions. Ensure that your content is optimized for SEO to attract organic traffic. And next, create valuable lead magnets like ebooks or free trials. I'm sure there have been times that you have landed on a website and you'll see the light box pop up and they're offering you a free ebook or a free download or a discount for your email. This is part of that inbound strategy. This is when they're using landing pages that are clear, compelling, and tailored to specific audience segments. So we want to implement a nurturing email campaign to build relationships and guide leads through the sales funnel. Don't forget, tracking your efforts is key. Too often I see clients, mention how they've posted things on social or they sent the email one time, but there was no real strategy and there was no analytics to back whether it worked or not. We don't want to go by feeling, we want to go by data. So use the tools like insights in your social platforms, open rates for emails, and Google Analytics to monitor performance and make data-driven adjustments. Consistently refining your strategy based on insights and feedback, you get to focus on delivering value and addressing your audience's needs. We want to turn our visitors into loyal customers. So here's a case study of JetBlue, and if you remember, I had them listed in a previous slide. JetBlue is a genius when it comes to email marketing. Why? Because their brand is all about being our best friend, right? So their emails tend to be cheeky emails, just as if they're your best friend. You'll see the sample email here says more wing, less cha-ching. They personalize every email, so you'll see your name listed, dear Michelle, dear Jesus. They know that 99% of email users check their emails 20 times a day. So you'll notice if you've ever flown on JetBlue, they know, where you travel to, mostly during what period of the year. And they won't send you just one email when they're promoting certain flights or pricing for flights. They're going to send it to you multiple times during the week or during the month. The emails are promotional. They're not very pushy because they want you to come to the decision that you're going to fly with JetBlue. Sorry. So up next, crafting high impact outbound campaigns. So outbound marketing is when a business proactively reaches out to potential customers to get them interested in a product or service they're selling. And it's really a traditional form of marketing because if you really think about it, this is what we all did, or most businesses did before digital marketing became a thing, before social media became a place where people sold their products and services. We initiated contact with our potential clients or leads. And the reason I wanted to emphasize this slide is because often I see clients rely just on the inbound. They figure if I put out, content on social every day, if I send out emails, if I keep writing blogs, that will be it. I don't need to do anything else. But truly, to get to conversions, we need a good mix of inbound and outbound marketing, where customers are coming to us and we're proactively looking for them. So with outbound marketing, we want to initiate contact with our potential customers or leads. So again, this is when identifying your target outbound audience is so important. And just like inbound marketing, you can use email as a strategy, but in this case, it's a cold email because most likely they've never received email from you before or even know that your business exists, right? Making phone calls, cold calls, networking, billboards, direct mail sponsorship, trade shows, that's all where you're putting yourself out there so that your client can see that you exist, right? So these are all examples of outbound marketing. And again, the most important aspect of any strategy that you put out there, whether inbound or outbound, is that you have metrics to track, okay? And in this case, the type of metrics that you want to track is response rates, conversions, clients that have, you've booked a call and they've moved on next to a presentation. Those are the metrics that are going to help you determine if your spending, your budget should go towards direct mail sponsorships or billboards. We want to make better data-driven decisions, not only to convert clients, but also to minimize our spend. So again, outbound, you're proactively finding your client and making contact. So here's a sample cold email, and I added this because many of my clients and I work on cold email campaigns, and I felt this would be really useful for all of you that are attending today. So I'll read the email very quickly. If you'll notice, it's personalized, so it's hi, whoever that person is. Is your customer support system actually losing you money? We've helped large companies like yours lower support costs by a percentage, improve overall sales by a percentage in less than a year. So you're showing value, right? All we did was integrate their entire company-wide support system into one efficient, easy-to-manage workflow called, and whatever the product or service is. It's quick and easy to set up and requires no onboarding at all. Do you have time this week to discuss how your product or service could boost your sales? So if you'll notice, the opening line is the perfect intro hook for a busy prospect. Short, attention-grabbing, and engaging. And in this case, the cold email caters specifically to the no-nonsense mind of your prospect, right? They're getting straight to the point, they're providing proof, and they leave your prospect with a low commitment call to action that fits their schedule, which is, do you have time this week to speak to us? This approach is highly effective for eliciting responses from busy professionals that get flooded inboxes. It quickly answers the question, what's in it for me, and provides proof to back it up. This cold email answers the question of, what happens when my email gets lost in the mix? Well, it won't get lost in the mix with a cold outreach if you write it in the right way, where you have a hook, you are showing your value, and you give them a clear call to action. People want to be told what to do. So here's a case study, State Farm Insurance. And I use this case study because I have one of them as a client, and I've done a lot of marketing for them. And I've realized that because it's insurance, it's highly competitive, and it's also a volume business, right? They do a lot of outbound marketing because they have to stand out from the crowd, from their competitors. And they use customer-focused messaging, they use paid ads, cold emails. They've even started to advertise like in highly produced podcasts because they realize that the market is moving more towards podcasting. Community involvement with events. You'll see State Farm agency owners and their agents be really involved in the community, which is an outbound strategy. And they also look for ambassadors and celebrities to endorse State Farm. We all know Jake, and Jake is that buyer persona that they're going after, right? So the success of State Farm marketing comes from understanding any business strategy is multifaceted. By adopting a customer-centric approach, State Farm keeps its target audience needs and concerns in mind with all marketing efforts, considering their preferences at each touch point along the customer journey. So we've all seen the State Farm commercials, right? So it proves that getting creative with marketing is also a necessity. And their ads not only boost engagement, but they resonate with audiences on a deeper level, which often leaves a lasting positive impression. Next, aligning sales and marketing. So aligning marketing and sales is crucial. And the reason I added this, and it's part of the title, is because I've seen companies, large, mid-size, and small, where they have a marketing team or a marketing agency, and the agency is not aligned with the business goals or is not aligned with the sales team. So what their marketing will be looks like will be a messaging that's completely different than what probably the owner who's probably doing the sales is, or the sales team is sharing with the prospective client, right? So aligning sales and marketing is crucial for driving consistent revenue growth. When these two teams, right, whether you're contracting an outside vendor or actually have a physical marketing team, and I'm talking about even like those companies that have virtual marketing agencies offshore, right? If they don't know what the business goals are and don't know how the sales team is selling, then it can create a little bit of chaos. But when the two teams work together, they create a seamless customer journey from the first touch point to the final sale. Marketing generates qualified leads. And I want to make this very clear because marketing and sales is very different, even though in today's market, with storytelling being so prominent, sometimes sales and marketing, the lines get a little blurry. But in truth, marketing generates qualified leads by understanding customer needs and crafting targeted campaigns, where sales takes these same insights and engages with the prospect, right? Addresses their specific pain points. There needs to be regular communication, shared goals, and tools that both teams use so that they can be in sync, so that the company as a whole maximizes conversion rates. And by aligning marketing and sales, you create a unified approach, not only like by attracting, but also the whole point of having a business and doing all this marketing and sales, closing more deals. Next, automation and technology. We often hear so much about scaling our businesses and we can't do it all ourselves. And this is very true, we can't. And I understand that some businesses may be able to scale faster than others. But in the case that you may not be able to, scaling can also be just putting automations in place and using the right technology for your marketing and sales efforts, okay? So, for example, a business should have a CRM. You should know the journey of your clients when they're buying your products and services. And it helps you make data-driven decisions when it comes to, you know, who you should be marketing to, how you should be marketing to them, and what sales tactics to use. I have some examples here if you want to look into these, and they all have like free versions. So feel free to sign up. The free versions are actually very robust. But HubSpot is a great CRM, Salesforce, ClickUp, high level. For email automation, you know, for those cold emails and those warm emails, you have the MailChimp's ActiveCampaign, Constant Contact, and Klaviyo. And in terms of ad management, the one that I know of and have worked with is AdRoll. For outbound marketing, I use Apollo.io, and I'm not sure if anybody's heard of that before, but it is an incredible platform. It has a free version. And again, the free version is very robust. All of these platforms are amazing, but it's really important that you as a business owner put together a campaign strategy for your inbound and outbound marketing efforts, okay? Now, you're all probably wondering, like, this is all nice. This is a lot of information. How do I find the time? Like, when am I expected to do all these things, right? Learn new technology to scale my business and automate. Well, that's when blocking your power hours is necessary. So I'm sure you've heard in the past, you need to work on your business and not in your business. And I understand that for some, the working in your business is what drives the revenue. But I will tell you that by taking time out to build a winning inbound and outbound marketing process, those power hours, which are hours they're dedicated blocks of time where you shut out distractions and you dive deep into strategic work. It helps you see the big picture. It helps you understand your customer better. It helps you, take a 30,000 foot high view of what you've been doing and really zero in on what's going to work. So I urge you to set some power hours, and I gave an example here of like certain steps that you can take today, which is define your objectives, right? Once you identify your goals for your power hours, then you can start creating content. You can start creating outreach scripts, right? You can start writing blogs. You can start writing emails. Make sure you choose your power hours like during times that you're very productive. I'm very productive in the morning. Some people are very productive in the evening. So choose the times when you are the most productive. Divide and conquer, all right? Break down the tasks. Don't feel you have to do everything in one day. You don't have to create content, post the content, write the email, write the blog, update the website. You're just going to drown yourself, and then none of these strategies or tactics or programs are really going to help your business. So split your power hours into focused segments. So something that I do is that Mondays are my business development days. So Mondays, I take no meetings, no phone calls. It's all about looking at my inbound, outbound strategies, what's working, what's not working. And then I dedicate like an hour to tweaking it, whether it's just the email, anything that's written, let's say like the emails, the copy for the ads, I'll focus on that. And again, using tools to automate and save time. It's really important you invest in your business. And many times it's much more cost effective to invest in automation and technology than it is invest in people. So don't be afraid to invest in a Apollo.io if it's going to help you get the leads that you want, or a CRM. And again, review and refine each week what you're doing. So on Fridays, I'll set an hour or two in the morning just to look at everything and see like what my open rates are, how many people are engaging with my socials, how many people set appointments with me for a presentation, so that I can determine what's working and what's not working and adjust accordingly. All right. So by committing to these power hours, you'll be able to execute your marketing strategy with precision and keep your business on a path that's sustainable. And keep in mind too, that once you take the time out to set up your strategy and all the tactics that you're using for inbound and marketing, once you set it up that one time and really put in all that effort that one time, it just gets easier anytime you need to tweak it. Okay. So if anybody has any questions, you can add them to the chat now. I hope this was valuable and helpful, and you can let me know if it was. Let's look at the chats. So if you're in Palm Beach County, unfortunately, you're not eligible. The question is, I am in Palm Beach County. Am I eligible for your services and assistance? I'm not able to help clients outside of the Miami area through FIU SBDC. And there may be an SBDC in Palm Beach County that you can refer to for the free services. Okay, the next comment is, hello, Michelle, this is great, but I can't help but wonder what exactly your business is. So I have a pharma agency. I offer fractional growth officer services. So for companies that don't have the budget to hire a growth officer, which is somebody that oversees their marketing and sales, I oversee strategy, I build teams, I oversee the team, I oversee vendors, and I oversee the analytics and adjust accordingly. They also use my my network. So I have partnerships with many big players like iHeartMedia and others that help them with their outbound marketing. Will the audio also be available? It was very valuable information to have. I'm not sure about the audio, but I do know that this will be uploaded into YouTube. So I know it will be there, and you will get a link as well. The next question is, how can I make an appointment with you to help me grow my business and where? Fabian, you will get an email since you were registered for this on how to register with SBDC, and you can ask to work with me specifically. My name is Michelle Cava. Jel Feliciano, how do you determine the best marketing strategy for your business? I would determine the best marketing strategy according to what your revenue goals are. You need to know your numbers. If you don't know what your revenue goals are, if you don't know your ideal customer, well, usually if you don't know your revenue numbers, you're most likely targeting the wrong customer. So I would say that is the key, and that's why I added knowing your customer to the slides early on. Knowing your customer is by far the cornerstone of any marketing strategy. Really understanding their psychology, what makes them tick, what makes them buy, that is the game changer. Thank you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth said the presentation was great and so useful. Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. The next question is Marie. How would you define follow-ups that are too aggressive? In other words, when is following up with a client too close, too much? All right, so this is when so this is what happens. Let me backtrack. Many businesses, especially the ones I've worked with, oftentimes do fragmented marketing. That's why they'll hire my agency. And it doesn't matter what size business you are. I've seen this with small, mid-size, large companies. With small, mid-size, it's usually fragmented because the owner has never done marketing before. And so they're just throwing up anything up on social media or sending any type of emails, hoping something sticks. When it comes to mid and large size companies, usually they have outside vendors. And like I mentioned before, those vendors are not updated on what the business goals are. So again, they're coming up with like in the box solutions that they use for everybody that uses their agency, which is the wrong way to go because not all businesses are the same or need the same strategies. So the first thing I would do is create a campaign. And when you create a campaign, you usually give it a time limit, okay? So if, for example, let's say I'm selling billboards and I'm sending cold emails to my, through Apollo.io, I'm gonna send cold emails for a 2-week period, probably 2 emails a week within a 2-day gap in between, so that I'm not too aggressive and so that I don't become spam. And I also don't have, these people unsubscribe or, send my emails to junk. So I would say the key is definitely creating a campaign, giving it a time limit, and then being very clear about how many times you're going to engage on that campaign. I hope that answered your question, Marie. Any more questions? Awesome, Marie. I'm glad that answered that. And again, if any of you want to work with me or work with SBDC, you can kindly just register and Jesus will make the connection. Baez just asked a question. So question about the template support email template. What do you put in the subject email to catch the eyes of the receiver and prevent it from being flagged as junk mail? I would add a hook and the hook should be related to what the email is about. What sends your email to junk mail is not just the subject. It's actually if you're using too many emojis, if you have too many links, and if you have too many pictures. That sends your email to junk mail. And there's actually a website, I think it's called Email Tester. If you Google Email Tester, you can actually run your email through Email Tester, and it will let you know if it's going to be flagged as spam or not. And that's another preventative measure so that that doesn't happen. We do that a lot in my agency because I definitely don't want to go to anybody's spam or junk mail or ruin my email reputation, right? Diana Lott. I'm sorry, there was something before you, Diana. I apologize. Jael, in 5 days between follow-up too long, yeah, 5 days between follow-up is too long. Listen, again, later today, think about the amount of distractions that you get in a day. But where are you mostly? You're on your phone, right? So while you're on your phone, you may get a phone call, you may get a text message, you'll go check email, you'll see a special offer, you start that sales funnel journey on the offer, but then the kids run in the room or a coworker or an employee needs you and you forget to purchase that item, right? I'm sure everyone gets distracted like that throughout the day. I know I do. Well, your clients get distracted like that as well. So 5 days is way too long. You want to definitely follow up every 2 days. And if you're an e-commerce store, you should have an email sales funnel that captures those behaviors and sends an email right away to get them to check out from the abandoned cart, right? Diana, at what point do you recommend that a company hires an additional sales rep to increase our customer base versus continuing to pound the pavement on their own? This is such a great question because if you find your numbers not increasing, it's because you've reached your max level and now it's a matter of adding the right body in the right position, right? So I would look at your budget. I would look at, where are you spending money right now? And figure out what maybe you can reduce from so that you can add that extra body or come up with creative ways to incentivize that person, right? It could be, giving them a percentage of the business until, they get to a certain number and then they can be salaried with a percentage. But there's creative ways to find new people to help you with your marketing and sales. Alana, I spent 20 years in corporate America with large clients, struggling to start over and where to start over with new clients that are smaller as my larger clients are in contractual relationship with my former employer. So I need to know a little bit more, Alana, about what services you're offering. Also what services you helped with your corporate job. I'm sure there are ways that you can compete and you're probably not seeing it. But I would say I need more information in order to help you with that. Diana, what was the email tester website again, please? I believe it's email, so I don't know if it's emailtester.com. Let me see if I can find it for you and put it in the chat. And if I don't find it right now, I think it's this one that we use. I'll send it to Jesus and he'll send it out.
Yes, I'll include it in a follow-up email.
Yeah. Maria Viles, where can I find information on marketing for behavioral health practices? I always fumble on what the limitations are. For example, I have flyers that would likely help me grow if I went to pediatric practices where referrals to my services are originated. Marketing for behavioral health practices. So I'm not very familiar with behavioral health practices, but the way you do market research is by finding your competitors and then creating some type of like worksheet, Google sheet, where you can clearly see like how are they different with their messaging? Who are they really targeting? What are they using to get those clients? That's how I would start the market research. And then from there, your branding comes into play. Like, how are you positioned? How are you different? What can you do to stand out from these other competitors? I hope that answered your question. Jael, do you have any additional free resources that will help with marketing? Yeah, so HubSpot has a great academy. They have tons of videos, really great videos on inbound marketing and sales. I would start there for sure. Alana, I was operational only. I did meetings and events for 20 years and want to start with my own clients, and I'm struggling with where to find them, how to interact with them, as that was kept separate from my role previously. All right, I totally understand. I think with you, Alana, since you're new to entrepreneurship and you're starting this new venture, what's going to be really important for you is brand development. Really understanding the type of business that you're building, what your vision is, what your mission is, what type of client you really want to work with, creating that messaging so that it's so clear to you and clear to the client that you want to attract. This usually helps with website copy. It helps with email copy. And it helps with confidence, to be honest, especially, coming out of corporate. I was just like you. I was in Wall Street for 20 years and started my first business in 2018. And I took branding very seriously, and that's what really helped me build that business and sell it. Maria, do you think cold calling is an old-fashioned way of marketing selling for this current age we live in? If it's your first point of contact, yes. The sales game has changed so much. Today, people, think about the amount of times you want to answer your phone, right? I know I don't want to answer my phone. You guys heard my phone ringing, which was shocking to me because usually people email me or text me. I don't feel cold calling should be the first touch point. It should be like the third or fourth, and it's no longer a cold call. Now it's a warm call because you've probably did a cold email. They probably responded. You probably, connected with them on LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever social media. They're now interested, and then you lead them to the phone call or to the Zoom call. But I totally agree. It's changed a lot. Any more questions? Let me see if I could find, I know I
So
have
once
it
again,
here.
this is a recorded webinar, so I want to thank everyone to participate in today's informative interactive webinar. But definitely, if you're interested to meet with Michelle, I put my email address in that, and we'll be more happy to connect you with Michelle. If your business is located outside of Miami-Dade County and outside the state of Florida, don't worry, email me. I'll be more happy to connect you with your local SBDC to assist you with your digital marketing systems in all the different areas of what small business entails. There will be a consultant to assist you in that regard. But definitely, Michelle will be emailing me some links so I could provide it for you as a full recap with the recording of today's webinar, the presentation, and also upcoming events that could definitely enhance your tools from today's presentation as well. So definitely, I want to thank you, Michelle. At the same time, I want to thank all the participants that took some time out of their day to be here to not just to be more ready to go for the business to be successful. So thank you all, and I'll see you at the next webinar. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Thank you, everybody.
Take care, Michelle.
You too.